Hey guys, it's me, Karan Ashley. I'm Aisha, the yellow Power Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and you're watching Action Activate.
Here we come. Hey, what's up? This is Gazbot with Action Activate, and I am here with...
Karan Ashley.
That's right, and you may know her from other things, but of course, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
That's the one everyone likes to talk about.
And it seems like this helmet might represent...
I know. It's like the calling card. Everybody, they get mad at me if I don't bring it. Like, people know that I have it and I've traveled all over, but sometimes it's a little much to carry.
Yeah.
And they get really upset. They're like, "You didn't bring the helmet?"
It looks fragile, too.
I know. And I'm one of those people that when I get to an airport, I say, "Take it all." I just check everything.
So we might see you one day and it'll have a big crack down the middle like battle damage.
It's happened. It totally has. I've had it restored.
Well, it looks good, and so do you for that matter. Something about Ranger actors, they don't age, it seems.
We were drinking that juice at the juice bar.
Wish I could have got some of that.
Ernie hooked us up with the Fountain of Youth.
Cool. Well, let's start with a somewhat Ranger-related question. Well, very Ranger-related.
Okay.
Hyperforce.
Yeah.
That was a cool show that a lot of people liked, and you were one of the first guest stars. Could you talk a little bit about how that came about?
You know what they called me? I'm really good friends with some of the people who work at the time they were working at Saban, and they had said, they called me and just said, "We have this new show. It's an interactive game. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?" And I was like, "No." They were like, "Have you ever done anything like this?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "You still want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah." So that's kind of how it went down. But I went and it was so much fun, and I was so happy they asked me to come back for their finale.
Right,
and it's just, they were such a funny cast, and I'd never played the game and I'd watched a couple of videos about it, so I kind of had the gist. But luckily for me, I sat next to Paul Schreier and he kind of led me down. This is what you do, say this, do that, play this.
I was going to ask you, because previously you'd related to him as the comic relief,
Yeah.
and while he's always funny, he was now a more serious hero character. So how was that relating differently?
I thought it was fitting. I mean, I always felt like that Bulk and Skull, their story arc, should have included them either becoming Power Rangers. Like, I liked how they became cops and they kind of,
Yes.
like, that kind of happened at some point. But I was like, they should really become Rangers at some point. Like, I mean, the fans love them. They can handle it, and it's also kind of goes with what Power Rangers is. We've never fit the mold. Like, you've got every type of kid, every race, every nationality is represented. So why wouldn't we have Bulk and Skull become Rangers one day?
I'm with you. On one of the newer seasons, Dino Charge, there was an old man became a Ranger, and I'm like, I could be that old man.
Yeah, like, it gives hope to us all, especially the kids that have grown up and they're now adults and they still watch the show, but they still have
Like
that,
who? Who do you mean? I don't...
they still have that dream of becoming a Power Ranger one day.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I agree. And it was really cool that you came back for that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Not Power Rangers. But I had talked to Nakia recently.
Yes.
And she was talking to me about a show you guys did together called Class Dismissed.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about that?
You know what? It was her brainchild. She put together this really cool comedy show, and it's kind of mimics her life, because when she was early on in her acting career, she became a temp, and one of the temp jobs she took on was she was a substitute teacher.
Oh, okay.
And so but like in this world of that, she still was this person who was running off trying to do trying to have auditions,
Right.
and you get an audition and she had to like make up an excuse as to why she needed to leave, but it was also this whole world of these kids and just the life at school. And the funny thing was, she kept telling me, "I want to write you in, I want to write you in, I want you to come do the show." And I was like, "Absolutely, I don't care what it is, I'll come do it. You're my friend, I love you." And she wrote me as her arch nemesis, and it was hilarious. Like, the whole time we meet at an audition and we're fighting the whole way, and we both are ridiculous.
That sounds awesome. And where is that available now?
You can watch it on YouTube, Class Dismissed. I know that she posted videos online, but they're available on YouTube.
There you go.
It's so funny. Like, but it honestly mimics like when we would all go to auditions. Like, I met Nakia at an audition, and I was like, "Hey, aren't you the girl?" And she's like, "Oh my God." Like, we knew who we were. But it's like, when you would go to these auditions, the girls, I mean, you'd literally be auditioning against everybody in LA, but the girls, some of them would be highly competitive and like would walk in a room and like ice you out. And it would be, it was total drama. And it was like, I always thought, why are you doing this? Like, that is not going to control who gets cast, who gets picked, what is yours, what is mine will be mine.
Right.
And I never understood that competitiveness, but it was hilarious to play that person, because I was like going after her.
Because you know that person.
Yeah.
Well, so she was writing what she knew, and she wrote a part that you knew inside and out. That's great.
And we had so much fun. I mean, we had bruises. Like we were rolling around the ground pretending to fight, and we were like at the end,
like old times.
Yeah, totally. And I told him because like it's hilarious, but people always call her Karen, or they'll call me the kid. I go, we're not the same person. So I go, it's gonna end the myth that we're the same person. She's like, oh my god.
That's so great, and it's great that you guys could work together and be such friends. Because like sometimes when there's a transition, like maybe somebody resents somebody, but no, you guys got it.
No. I mean, when I left the show Power Rangers, I made that decision for myself, and it was strictly because of the just the work environment that we were in, and just all of these other things. It had nothing to do with her. Right. She just accepted a part, sure, and like anybody, if they put out an audition call right now and said, "Do you want to come and be an actor on Power Rangers?" everybody would show up. Yes. So I don't ever understand like that kind of like, I always feel like what's yours is yours, what's mine is mine. Right. And we equally all get our blessings in life. Right. So,
and that's a very Power Ranger superhero inclusive kind of thing. And I'm not an actor, but I've worked in animation and stuff. And I noticed that by being friendly to everybody, aside from just being a good thing to do, they would then call me about jobs or tip me off about things. Whereas the people that were jerks, even if they were great, nobody wanted to work with them.
It's crazy. I will say, honestly, 50% of the things that I've booked in my career have been just people meeting me and me just being, just being happy about life. I'm not really, I don't even know them, but I'm just happy and I'm just, a pretty positive person.
Yeah, you definitely give off a big positive energy.
And they call me and say, hey, I would really like to work with you. And that's kind of how I think. When I've cast things that I've produced, I've always said, who do I want to be stuck on a set with for 12 hours a day? Who do I want to work with in the trenches? Because sometimes it is such a it's like a cookie. I mean, it's like a little pot and it's just going to bust. And it's all these things that happen that are out of your control. And then you still have to deliver a performance. And you just go, who do you want to be standing next to when you're going through this long haul? And that's just kind of how it is. I always try to surround myself with like-minded people.
That's really smart. Yeah, in life too, not even just in work, but in life.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and it's that way. I always tell people, if people add something to your life, that's who you need to have around. People who bring you down or make you feel a certain way, that's not who you want to be with. You got enough of just life. Life is going to set you back a few steps. You don't need anyone in your circle doing that.
There's a quote I like. I think it was Kevin Smith. I always misquote people. But he said he always used to have people, he'd say he was going to do something and they'd say, why? And he started hanging out with people that said, hey, why not?
Right. Yeah. I know. People have always said, they go like, why do you do that? And I go, why wouldn't I do that? Duh.
Some people think growing up means getting boring. But
exactly.
Awesome.
Not at all.
All right. Well, I'll ask you one final question.
Yes.
And back to Power Rangers.
Okay.
Other than Rangers you've worked with on your seasons, who would you say is the best Red Ranger?
Oh gosh. Whoa. I got 10 of them that will call me and go, you better see me.
How about one of the best? But not from your season, because everybody picked their own.
I don't know. I mean, this is the thing. They're I don't know. Oh, this is the thing. Every Power Ranger I've ever met, 99.9 of them are amazing people. And I'm like, where do these people come from?
The same place you did.
I guess. I'm like, how do they find really authentically cool people? And so naming a favorite is picking. I mean, that's like Sophie's choice.
I'm saying one of your favorites to let you off the hook a little bit. The one that happens to come on right now.
Well, Jason Font, Brendan Mejia. These are guys that I know that I've hung out with. But no, all of them. Oh my gosh, Red Ranger. That's a hard one because that's usually that's usually a leader. Right. They're usually really cool. And they kind of got a swag about them, Yeah. Okay. Well, I want a female Red Ranger. That's what I'm challenging Power Rangers to do.
We all want to see that. For a minute we did on Samurai, but she only was a Red Ranger for half an
episode.
In the comics, though, she became a much bigger character. So the people that are fans of the comics, we want a figure of Lauren, make Lauren,
The comics are revolutionizing everything. I want those writers to write on the television show.
We all do.
I feel like
Kyle Higgins.
Yeah, I feel like, Kyle, Ryan, all those guys, I feel like they are edgy. They're giving the older crowd and the young kids something, but it's still a kid-friendly storyline. Yes. It's still a team-oriented situation, but they're thinking outside the box. There's almost no rules. There's no, and I hope and hope and hope and hope, and I've mentioned it to I don't know how many executives at Hasbro, at Saban, everywhere, that I hope Ryan and Kyle are able to write something. At least let them do one season. food season. We got nothing to lose. Come on, guys.
Come on, do it, guys. Hasbro, come on.
Years. Let's play
Come
a
on.
little bit.
It's easy. It's easy. We solved it right now.
I think once we go down that rabbit hole, we'll never want to come back.
It's true. Okay, but to recap though, your quick pick for Red Ranger would be either Jason Font from Time Force or Brendan Mejia from Dino Charge.
Yeah, just because those two names.
Yeah.
Because I just saw them recently. I think I saw them on my Instagram timeline.
And they're both popular. They're both good actors, good seasons, nice people. I've interviewed Brennan. He's a sweetheart.
Oh, the best,
So
right?
yes, but you're wrong. It's Casey from Jungle Fury.
I like him too. I'll be wrong. Because I like you can't pick one. It's like what is it? Oreo. You can't have just one, or was it
Oreo.
Lay's potato chips. You
With
can't
me,
pick
it's
just
any
one.
cookie or any potato chip.
Yeah, whatever it is, you can't pick just one Red Ranger.
Awesome. Okay, so let's close it out. But is there anything you want to talk about? Any projects coming up? Any appearances? Anything like that you want to let people know about?
You know what? I do a ton of Comic-Con. So I'm going to be all over this year. I always tell people, go to my Instagram. I'm coming to a city or country.
What's your
near
Instagram?
you. It's at Karan Ashley, and it's Karen, Karan. And I always post where I'm going to be, but I'll be at Dragon Con this year. I'll be at New York Comic Con this year. I'll be at all the big ones. But I'm at a lot of small shows too. Like I never say no if the situation is if there's a space on my calendar and the situation works out. We always go. We want to meet everyone, and I just can't wait to see the fans. Can't wait to meet you guys and tell you all about the stuff we're working on. I got a new Boom cover. It's right there. It's actually, I'm exclusively selling it. So this is my new Boom cover.
So you can only buy it from you.
You can only buy it from me.
Guess what I'm going to buy when we're done with this interview?
You got to come and find me. But yeah, so it's very cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a good show.
Thank you. Yes, at Karen Ashley. It's more bedtime.